that later during the course of the day. The market, I think, is about 6 minutes away from closing. Jai Bala is with us of cashthechaos.com. Jai, good to have you with us here. Thanks very much. So important event ahead, 9 days out. Market holding just under the all-time highs. How things looking, and what would you trade? Let's get that out of the way first.
Yeah, let's go to the two stocks I have for today. First, again, is a railway stock. I picked Ircon last week, and it's gone to fresh all-time highs. And likewise, I have another one from that space. It's Texmaco Rail, not Texmaco Infra. It's Texmaco Rail. It's breaking out of the inverse head and shoulders pattern, and I'm putting a stop at about 165 and expecting it to cross 240, 250. It's relatively new, fresh breakout. So, I don't know why this has not been touched by a marketplace. Probably that's the reason, but it's breaking out of a inverse head and shoulders pattern. Now, that one's an even more interesting pattern, but you need to be a little more patient. We're trying to slightly preempt the market. It's Federal Mogul Govets. It's got a huge pattern taking up on the higher time frame. And if it closes above 422, I think it's got a potential to go to as far as 700. But as I said, it's not yet close above there, but we're anticipating that to happen. So it makes sense for traders to, position size slightly lower because the breakout hasn't occurred. And when it comes to the Nifty, it's still holding about critical supports at 21,778 and 21,710. So the least path of resistance is higher. So it's although it's getting really stretched, the momentum is dropping precipitously. You need to be on the long side as long as that critical supports hold.
Jai, afternoon. Anything in the metal space which catches your attention for a trade?
Yeah, we have come very close to a significant resistance of the metals index. I had projected 9,800. It's crossed that and 9,900 and change. But the thing is, COMEX copper is coming to very important, resistance. If it were to drop below the May 20th low of 5.003, I think it's going to see a short-term shock like we saw for silver. I mentioned in April, it saw a 10% drop. Likewise, a similar drop is likely to occur if copper drops below 5.003 on COMEX, the high-grade copper I'm talking about, not the industry producer price copper. So I'm expecting copper to drop somewhere close to 4.65, but higher highs to come through. So we could see a short-term, near-term correction for the metals index because silver is also structured very similar.
Okay. Jai, sort of looking at the trends that we're getting now from banking, is there any clarity here? Because once again, today is a day when the Bank Nifty has been the big drag for the large cap screen. What are the goalposts that you're keeping in mind, and would you initiate a trade at all, either on individual banks or the index itself?
If you want to initiate trades in the banking space, it has to be in the PSU space, but it's more an avoid. As long as the banking index can stay above 46,500 and 45,800, that's the equivalent 21,770, 21,710 for the Nifty. The private banking space is relatively weaker compared to the PSU banking space. And even within the PSU banking space, I think it's just SBI which keeping the market afloat. So be a bit cautious, neutral, wait for the markets to provide direction. Until that point, you can avoid. And definitely, private banks are even bigger avoid compared to PSU banks.
Okay, Jai, I think we'll leave it there. A good conversation as always, short one, but thank you very much for your time as always here on CNBC-TV18. Just to sort of